Go on now.
Okay, so first, I agree with Shanice. I do love Bree and Vincent. They are adorable, not only physically, but I think
That
that
bar led.
they complement each other very well. But with that being said, I think Bree is, which her family says that she's bossy. And
Mm,
usually people who are bossy is because of their controlling. And
mm-hmm,
usually you're controlling because you don't trust anyone
mm,
else to do for you. So Vincent is, based on what I've gathered, is the kind of guy who needs to be supported. He
yeah,
wants somebody to support and believe in him, which would equate to somebody trusting him that he
yeah,
can get the job done.
yeah,
I think the problem they're going to have in their relationship is that Bree's controlling, distrustful nature is going to rub his need to be trusted the wrong way.
mm, mm,
And then he's going to almost kind of push back, like, you don't just trust me, like let me do it. And then she's going to probably be turned off because she's going to feel like he's trying to control her. So I think that their strengths are going to be their weaknesses and vice versa. I think that they're going to have to learn to get out of their own way. Bree's going to have to learn to trust him to get things done without her
yeah.
permission and direction and all that, and allow him to do it his way. And he's going to have to learn to make her feel safe enough to trust him to
Mm,
get the job done.
mm. But that's really good. So with obviously Vincent and Bree, he's also a workaholic. And I think the workaholicness is probably because of the last relationship as well, especially as well because he's not about to be made to look foolish without having a job and stuff. But could that also be an issue as well? Because I remember she said this, and I was like, I've never, it's normally the men that normally say this. She said she wanted to come home and kind of see her husband is there and chill, and I was like, girl, that's usually what men say to girls. Like, could that also be an issue, that the role reversals here, in terms of expectations of what gender role you should be playing in the relationship, almost like the switch around? Could that be an issue as well, ladies? I don't know.
Absolutely. I think that when you're in the male industry, dominated industry, you tend to pick up that same energy,
Energy.
and you can, as a woman, emasculate men because you
Mm,
come home with that same um, authoritarian kind of a nature. Like you're still running the show. You're still
yeah.
in charge, and that will definitely rub a man who needs to feel like a man, which all men do and should. I may or may not have been guilty of said thing. I'm not going to confirm or deny that I've done that before. But
That's all right.
yeah.
That's a guilty admission right there. That's fine. Don't worry. Yeah. Okay, so question. Okay,
Asking for a friend.
hypothetically speaking, I mean, if you were at a season like that, how does one get out of that? Like, how does one get out of that mind frame to not? Because obviously it's natural. You're operating that energy all for the next 8 to 10 hours of your work time. How do you then turn that off when you get home?
But I think she was.
Go ahead.
I think
No,
she
no,
was.
go ahead, Kia.
You know how to it's your delivery. So even when her family says she's bossy, it's how you deliver it. So she comes off like a little bit of this little Southern belle. Because even when she said, "Well, what do you like to eat? You like breakfast?" Oh, okay. Well, I can just manage a couple of those. So I think she's, she got a little daintiness about her where she can, calm be his calm. So I think her delivery, like I said, is really good where she makes him still feel comfortable. Even though you're giving bad news, or giving something harsh, I think she can convey it to him in a positive way where it won't come off as, grabbing him by his, stuff.
It's a good comment here. Is it a comment I'm thinking about? She said that she wants that work needs to take a back seat, but wants a man who makes more money than her. She needs to understand that he will be working all the time to make the money that she desires, I guess, in a sense. Do we agree with that? Do we disagree with that?
So when we're confused.
She said so. She said earlier on in the first episode, second episode. She said, obviously, I see you, Kenny. She said in the first or second episode that she wanted a man that's going to make more money than her. This episode, they was questioning him, and they alluded to the fact that he is a workaholic, and she said, oh yeah, he even brought his laptop with him, and he's opened it on the weekend. So, and then she said, obviously he can't be, work has got to be put aside, basically. Do you know what I mean? So I think the person is saying how, almost in a sense, I guess I can frame it in a question: how would it work when, obviously, not in a bad way, but how would they manage or get around this issue of you want the man that's going to provide and make the more money than you?
I'm sorry.
There may be a trade-off. There may be a trade-off in a sense of his time to make that money so that you can still stay him being the top provider. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense.
Speaking for myself, and I don't want to make the ladies in the world mad, but I think we do have a little confusion. We want both worlds, but we can't have it. I've had, relationship where you want to sit home and cuddle, but if he get home cuddling with you, he can't make no money. So at the end of the day, we want both, but you can't have both. You have to be a happy medium. Because again, she wants him to make money, but if he, an entrepreneur, he can't sit at home and be there when you get there. So you have to, they have to discuss, okay, what's too many hours of work? So maybe she has to just say, okay, well, let's talk about these hours. You put in 10 hours and it's time to cuddle, or at 10 o'clock every night we cuddle. But women, we are confused. We want both, and we don't realize we're confused. I'm sorry, ladies, but sometimes we ask for stuff, and it's just like, which one do you want? And you're confusing the man. So you have to just wait and say, hey, which one is more important? So we have a happy medium.
Ken.